Want to welcome you to this wonderful, wonderful Monday. There we go. Yeah, wonderful Monday, June 16th, 2025. Hello, Jim, Tammy, Ed, Bill, Frank, JW, John, Joe, Gold, Bill, Chip, Roger, Sonny. Wow, tons of people. Thank you for being here. Absolutely appreciate it. Hey, I'm happy to report. I hope the sound is coming in well. I'm happy to report I have this new computer installed. I love it, and it was painless. It really, really was painless. Um, yeah. So, and to boot, when I installed the computer, I had to pull my desk out and get behind it. Move some wires around, things like that. And I found a $20 bill. So the moral of this story is get a new computer anytime you can and collect whatever money you can find behind your desk. Hey, good morning, Vernon. How are you? Okay, let's take a look. Oh, before I forget, let's do this real quick here. On June 24th, that's a Tuesday, June 24th, 2025, this year, I will Hit Run Candlesticks will be having a open house. Okay. So you'll find, so far we've not sent registration out via email, but you can pick up a registration link and you have to register in our social media, X, YouTube, Facebook. I think even on Stock Twitch, you can probably register. So you can do that. And look forward to seeing everybody at that open house on June 24th, all day. Okay. All right. It could be, Steph. Yeah, it could be one of the grandkids dropped that $20 bill back there. Nah, probably me. I mean, when I clean my desk off, a lot of it is just sweep everything onto the floor or into a big box. I might have pushed everything back. All right, let's take a look at this market. Hey, Friday wasn't the best day, right? Here we are down a little bit below the T line, but I see we're coming back up this morning. Now, Friday, I had mentioned, I put this line up here as well, so we'll call that 602. It's very important that we get back above 602. Below 602, I feel that the bulls just not strong enough. And what could happen is, let's see if I have tools. Yeah. What could happen is we start this, downhill move here. Now we could pop up a little bit more and, push down like that. And that's not something we really want to do. That'd give us a high, a low, a lower high, and then we could be looking at that lower low. If we do start breaking down below the T line, I'm looking at about 593, and then below that about 590. We'll reevaluate everything else a little bit later. Now, of course, if we can break out here, then I think we're good to go. We really are. Overall for this week, I really expect just nothing but trashy trading. Okay. Remember, Thursday's a holiday, and who in the world wants to be here Friday? So overall, we've got ourselves a very short week, 3 days as far as I'm concerned. And it just, we've got Israel and Iran, and I just don't necessarily see a lot of hot trading this next few days here. So trade accordingly based on your, the way you've been trading. Trade accordingly. Don't try to tame that horse this week. Maybe if you're still trying to tame that horse. T2123 last week, we can see here that there it is. We can see that we're up, and then here we're pulling back with the market up a little bit this morning. This could be up a little bit this morning. You can see VXX started to run up, last week toward the end of the week there. And as long as VXX stays above those green dots, I'm going to have some serious concern about this market. And let's run to that 60-minute chart. And on that 60-minute chart, again, well, doesn't matter what time frame, over 602, I'll feel just a little bit better about this market if we can hold that. And you can see that would just about take us over that downtrend line there. So I think some cautious trading this week, or just no trading at all. Maybe, cash is a position. You never have to be, never feel guilty of being in cash. And you're right, Raul. Fed meeting on Wednesday, which, it's not that I know anything about that. I really don't. And honestly, I don't think anyone else does either. But I don't expect anything to change. Nothing's going to change. So that's what I expect. Anyway, hey, let's take a look at a few charts. If you have any, throw them out there. Let's see what we have. I just have a list here. I'm going to go from the top down. It doesn't matter. I have no value in the first one coming up. What I'm doing here is, you'll see, I'm just going to go down the list. And these are some of my favorites that I like to look at. And that list changes a little bit, maybe not every single day. But stocks that aren't worth it anymore, I kick them off. Stocks that are hot and everyone's talking about, and there's a lot of going on with them, I tend to put those on the list a little. So take a look at coin here. Coin is, let's get this. Here we go. So coin, you can see, is clearly in a bullish trend, right? And here we've popped up and we're just moving down. Just draw straight lines here. Don't worry about the price action. Don't worry about anything like that. Just look at the overall trend and look what it's doing. And what I'm looking for is coin to break out. Once coin starts to break out, targets I have up here about 269, 296, 323 up here. Good morning, Daryl. And good morning, Raul. Stefan Woods. Good morning. AMD. Let's not forget about AMD. I know, AMD is some folks, you really don't like AMD, and it's almost falling in the same category as Intel. But let's not kick those out. I wouldn't kick them out so much. But anyway, you can see a nice trend here on AMD. You can see that the trend indicator is up. You can see that price pulled back Friday, which everything pulled back Friday. So don't get mad at a chart because it had pulled back. Everything pulled back Friday. So here we are. We pull back to the trend indicator here, and now we're coming back up over the T line. And targets up there about that 200 period moving average, or 124.55, and then 134.60. And here's that 50% retracement just above 150. And that wouldn't be a bad move. We'll take AMD here, and all these we're going to look at will fall under this category. If you see a chart and you see the big target, the ball, the goal line, and that's my goal line. Maybe your goal line's up here. I don't know. Maybe your goal line is right here at that 135, 134 level here. Maybe that's your goal line. So everyone's goal line might be a little bit different, but as long as the trend remains a trend, and as long as you can still see the goalpost, the goal line here, then that becomes a viable trade. Now, timing is important. Maybe today's not the best day to buy a chart. Okay, this whole week might not be the best week. I get that. I understand that. So then I might not buy anything. I don't know. We'll see how everything plays out. But as long as that goalpost is still standing there and the trend is still intact, Now it's a matter of honing your entry, your entry plans, honing this hard right edge. When I say hard right edge, I'm talking about this area right here, right there, that area right there. I'm not talking about right here. I'm talking about this area right here. So keep an eye on AMD. Take a look at Cisco. I almost bought Cisco. I think it was Thursday. And then Friday, I thought, all right, yes, I'm glad I didn't buy it. Don't I look like a real dumbass right now? I think Cisco is wonderful. I think it's still looking good. If you take a look at Cisco on the weekly chart here, look at us moving up. So if your goalpost is over here, it's probably hard. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go right there, right here. That might be hard for you to see over here. It's hard for me to see, but I'm just going to take those tops around $70 and a quarter here. So that's my goalpost right there. And so as long as, get this arrow going, as long as that trend stays, and the trend, I'm just using the trend indicator, okay? And then I will look for an entry, the entries I like, into a chart like this, and then we'll be looking at the goalpost. Now, there is no question in my mind, none whatsoever, between here and here, we're going to see another pullback. You may even see two pullbacks, or these pullbacks could be just simply resting areas, all right? Pullback, rest, all the same thing. There's no question in my mind about that. None, zero, zip. So, don't give up on a trade just because it's taking a rest. More times than not, a trader, when they analyze a chart and they see a target, that's their best work right there. Once you buy the chart, your work goes to shit in a handbag. I'm telling you, it goes to crap, because now you've got money in it. Now you have this emotion working against you. Yes, not against you, not for you. So your best analysis of a stock is before you put money in it. And then work with that analysis. Don't give up on it, okay? Anyway, I hope that was helpful. Hey, Hydro, how you doing? Let's see here. Santana, you want to look at some mags? Well, let's do that. Look at mags. I agree with you. Let's look at mags. Let's get rid of this right here. I'm going to change this to over here. There we go. We've broken out of that 50% retracement, and I think that is, I'm going to change that. Wow. There we go. There we go. Yeah, we've broken out of that 50% retracement. Here we've stopped at 53.64. Look at the resistance right there. Nice. Next target up based on the quadrant lines is going to be up here at that 59.60. I see some price action over here. So I'm going to have to put a little target in there. There we go. So around 54.85, 56.80 up here would be a good target. Nice chart. So once again, if this is your goal line here, one of those lines or this line or wherever you want to put it. Let me get there's our trend. As long as trend holds, your goalpost, your goal up here is extremely achievable. I mean, just go back and look at the chart. Now, I know that, right here, we can't say that the trend has really started, or can we? Because red has turned to green, right? So if red is 100% downtrend, if we have green, just a few dots, no, that's not a 100% uptrend, but that's how it starts. So take it as, until it's proven wrong, take it. Now look at this chart. We're in trend, right? You're in trend. And what are we doing now? We're just going sideways. That's all. Still in trend. So now we're waiting for that reason to buy it. Could be today. Every trader's different. Anyway, thank you. Very nice chart. I'm going to flag that. Thanks a lot. I thought you said you bought 15 options. No, I did not buy Cisco. I wanted to buy Cisco. It's not in the small account. I'll open up the big account and take a look, but no, I did not buy Cisco. I don't think I did. Let's see here. Where CVS? Let's take a look at CVS. You can look up here if you look up in the chat, Susan, and I'll have to check. Look up in the chat up there at the very top. I post all my buys and sells up there, and that also goes to the app for members and trial folks that have the app. Okay. Anyway, CVS, what's your question here? It looks like needs a retest. Yeah. I don't think I'd be a buyer of CVS. Might put it on the watch list though. That I might do. We've got a nice bottom here coming off the 200, over the 50, and over the 500 period moving average, bumping up against a lot of resistance here. Nice speed bump right there. So I would let this thing pull back or even break out and pull back before I looked at it for a trade. But for the watch list, absolutely looks pretty good there. Hey JW, yes, CRDO. That's a beautiful chart, isn't it? That was great last week. I know that a few members bought into this, so take a look at this one. I think this is a great looking chart. Beautiful trend, and you can see price is still doing what price should be doing, right? Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, right? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful chart. Let's see, HWM as well. Let's take a look. HWM. Yeah, look at HWM. One of my favorite setup strategies, whatever you want to call it, is when we're still in trend, the dots are still green, price goes below the T line and comes back up above the T line. That's one of the things I really, really like in a chart. Now, I mean, it makes a difference what's over here on the left as well, but that is one of the things I scan for here. And that's nice. I totally am on board with you there. And then Cisco, we've already looked at. Space. Hey, Hydro, let's look at space. Hey, thanks everybody from YouTube, Facebook, X that's logged in. Let's see, SPCE. There we go. Space. Yeah, you've got a long, you're looking for a long, and not for me, it might be for you. I need a reason to buy it. And I don't have that reason right now. I think it's maybe trying, and you can clearly see that we've got a trend in there. But for just outright, just run out and buy it. I want to see you buy it, honestly, you meaning I want to see buyers in there like this. So if I see buyers in there, then that's going to tell me that this whole movement up and back is coming back into play. So yeah, I'm going to have to see that, and that would also be a rounded bottom breakout. So I think it's worth a look. But yeah, definitely. Thank you, A-Ray. A-Ray, I'm almost betting you're already long this. I'm guessing would be my guess. Take a look at the weekly. That's a very nice rounded bottom breakout here. Very nice chart on the weekly. On the daily, you're bullish. You just have to deal with that top right up there, okay? But A-Ray looks good, and I love the weekly. Absolutely love the weekly. Look at the bottom. Look, we can even put together a inverted head and shoulders here, right there. So there's a shoulder, head, shoulder. Here we've rallied up. Nice J hook. Next target up. Watch that. The price target over here. Looking good though. Looking good. Thank you very much for that one. Hey Daryl. Good morning. Good morning to you. CAG. Let's see. There we go. Too extended to the downside. Strong bearish move down on Friday. Yeah, I can't say it's too extended. Yeah, I can't say it's. I'm going to go to weekly. Try to run this up. Make this. There we go. Now I feel better about looking at it. Yeah, I can't say it's too extended here. The downtrend is still there. We're above Friday's candle. So if we start to see, weakness in here, in fact, as long as the candle today is weak, right through here might be a good place to short. Back up through the T line, that would give me a little concern. We don't want it to start turning around on us here. And it is oversold enough. I'm going to go to a monthly just to look at it. We are at a monthly double bottom here. Want to be careful for some, where institutions think that, hey, man, that's at a good buy, so we're gonna buy this up. But anything below the T line right now, I would look at on the short side. Yes, sir. Thank you. Hey, Santana, VRT looking good, looking good. See that trend? I mean, you just have to love trend. You really do. Look at that. And all I'm doing is drawing from where it turned to the end. I don't care about anything in the middle. In the middle is price moving around. That's what it is. Just the beginning and at the current end. And then from there, we can see that we've gone sideways. We can see, let's get rid of that. There we go. See it better now. There we go. And now look at the price action here. Bulls are starting to step in, get a little itchy. Yeah. Thinking they're going to be on commercials and stuff, make lots of money, right? Target 130. It's a nice chart. Let's make sure. I already have that flag. Yeah. That's a pretty nice chart. Hey, good morning, Tex. How you doing? Let's see. OGN. Let's look at OGN. There we go. Yeah, on your watch list, I can see that getting ready to be a rounded bottom breakout over the 50 period moving average. That gives it a I don't know. That gives it a good reason to jump up toward the dotted deuce and the 200. Not that it's going to get there, but man, that sure gives it a good reason. Good reason for me to take a look at it. Thank you very much for posting that. Hey, Frank. SoFi is still bullish in my book here. SoFi has broken out over the 50% retracement. It actually did it back here. It came back below. It broke out again. And now it may be starting to use that 50% retracement as support. And if it does, that'll be bullish for the chart. Now it's just a matter of now the chart needs to entice buyers to come in to drive it up. And so far, if you take a look at that chart, so far it's been doing a pretty good job. We'll just take from here and go up. Now, I know it turned red right here, but it was only a couple days and it came right back into trend, okay? And that's what we want. We want bullishness. We want resting. This is, a good rest right here compared to just a slight rest. And now we're back in trend. So, yeah, I think SoFi remains bullish. Yeah. Let's see. Hey, Vern, thoughts on Reddit? I'm bullish on Reddit. Yeah, here's Reddit. Yeah, I'm bullish on Reddit. We're putting in this bottom here. Once we get over the 200 period moving average and dotted deuce, the red dotted line here, then I think Reddit has got a nice little future here. Here, let's come over here and do this. I like doing this. Just take from the top down. So my let's do it this way. My goalpost would be right there. So now it's just a matter of trading this between this area and this area, managing your trade. And as long as we stay within trend, all is good. Yeah, I like that. And then over the 50% retracement area, there's a couple other targets. We'll just looking at this, and then we'll come over and kind of confirm it with price. So the first line here, look where that line came, and right there with price, right? And then the second line, 192, Look how that, a little toppy there. Yeah, I might drop that one down just a tiny, tiny bit. There we go. So 173, 187 after the 50% retracement, goal line right there. So yeah, I like Reddit a lot. Thanks, Vernon. Appreciate it. ARC, here's one I like. I like ARC. You know, hey, let's stop for a minute. Time out, everybody. And I want to remind everybody to register for our open house coming June 24th. Okay. You can pick up the link at in our social media areas. Now, I want to talk about ARC. I want to talk about all the stocks that we've looked at, all except one we've looked at bullish, right? Well, here's what's going to happen. Let's do this. We'll make this green. The market is going to have to remain bullish. All right. The market is going to have to remain bullish. If the market starts to drop, then all those long bets are right off the table. They just scoop them right off. Just scoot them off on the floor. Maybe you'll find a $20 bill down there like I did. Okay. So it's all dependent on the market. Now, let's take a look at ARC here as an example. All right. So do I think that ARC can move back up to about 109? Yes, I do. Okay. Now, so let's do this, move this down a little bit. There we go. So you can see it all. There we go. Do I think it can go there? Absolutely. What is that dependent on? Well, that's dependent on a bullish market. Without a bullish market, it's not going to go there. So what happens? I'm going to shorten this up a little bit. So what happens if the market turns bearish? Well, ARC is likely to come down with the market, right? Now, do I think we can go there even though we pull back? Yes, I do. So if the market starts to turn bullish, do I think ARC could get back into the game? Yes, I do. So just because we look at ARC or we look at SoFi or you look at any chart you want to look at, if that's your goalpost right there, and if we turn bearish and it fails, it doesn't mean to put this in the garbage can. It doesn't mean to lock it up and do nothing with it. I mean, if you remember what earlier I had mentioned that your best chart analysis is the one before you put money in it, and it's definitely the one it's best before you start beating yourself up. Well, I guess I was wrong about ARC. No, you're not wrong about ARC. Stocks move up and down. So if you look at a stock, you think it's going to go up. If you look at the market and think it's going to go up and everything goes down, you are not wrong, because everything goes down and everything goes up. So it's a timing issue. Okay. So don't beat yourself up. Like I say, don't lock the chart in the closet and not feed it, give it water or anything. Don't do anything like that. Don't kick it. Don't burn it. Don't be rude to it. Just be patient and wait for the setup. Wait for the setup. Okay. Anyway, that was a long way to get to, I hope, something that made some sense. I want to thank everybody for being here. It is time for me to start wrapping this up so I can get this the recording produced. Take a look at Meta. What a gorgeous looking chart. Everyone that's trading Meta, man, throw a thumbs up out there. That's a beautiful looking J-hook continuation pattern here. Look at that. Next target will be the most highest top, I guess, back here in February of about 737. For those that can't trade Meta, but you want to, remember there's FBL. This is a single stock ETF here for $42, a little cheaper price. Also, take a look at Amazon. Look at Amazon moving up. What a gorgeous chart. All right. Man, I had a lot of people ask me about Tesla today, and not today, over the weekend, excuse me, over the weekend. And you guys all know I don't like stocks with drama, and you know, Tesla has a lot of drama right now. Um, yeah, just a lot of drama. If it can take out the 50% retracement, and then I'll become a little more interested in Tesla, which not necessarily Tesla. I'll be looking at TSLL because it's a better price, fits my price better. But I'm going to need to see, um, yeah, I'm going to need to see some of the drama calm down in Tesla here. So, and if it can, here, let's move this up. If it can get to the above that 50% point, there's plenty money up here to be made. Absolutely plenty. I don't need to be in it right here for that. So, okay, now I'm really running late. You guys take care. Thank you very, very much. We'll see you all at the bottom of the hour here in about 14 minutes when the market opens up. Hey, Malcolm, thanks.